miss Edge Match. Don't miss
Hey, Edge Match family. So I am so excited that I get to bring on our boss lady, the best boss lady I've ever met, the coolest person I know, Dr. Sarah Thomas, because we are doing her book launch. So I'm so excited. She
Yay!
has other books there isty, but we've got this one that's amazing, and we're so excited to launch her first book through EduMatch. So,
Aw,
um,
cute.
we're gonna talk about the book in a second, but my friend, for the people living under rocks, please tell them who you are.
Hey everybody, what is up? All right, first of all, I gotta say how geeked I am. Like this is my first time on this side of things, and I am super honored to have my good friend Mandy interviewing me for this. So thank you, Mandy, and hello to everyone. So my name is Sarah. I am the founder CEO of EduMatch. Other than that, I am also a regional technology coordinator in a very large district. This is my 18th year in education. Let's see, what else? What else? I'm a daughter, sister, mommy, wife, lots of things. So you might hear my little one in the background. It's a family show, so what can I say?
Well, it's after hours,
It
so
is
it's
after hours, yeah.
kind of.
Yes, indeed.
um, so, but you do so many other things.
Oh.
I mean, all of the things. Um, I have for a long time thought that I was a relatively busy person and that I was involved in a lot of stuff. Let
But
me
you
tell
are
you,
though.
anybody who's out there, you are not involved in a fourth of what this woman does. Like it's insane. So, anyway, and so I'm so excited that you're releasing this book, and I was excited to be able to be one of the people to read it for the first time as well. So that was
Yay!
super
Thank
cool.
you. Yes,
And
indeed.
yeah, so let's start talking a little bit about that. The book is, and so I'm going to show it first because I don't know if I can do the title justice, to be totally honest. So this
Okay.
is I have to say it slow because I know how I say it in my head, but I don't know. So this is Sarahdateechur's guide to podcasting. So I get rid of this here so we can see it a little bit better. I love your cover. The pink
Thank
is
you.
amazing. It sticks out, it matches your turtleneck, like it's gorgeous.
Thank
But this
you.
picture of you is stunning. I absolutely
Oh,
love this picture. So
I appreciate it.
yeah, so a little something for educators who want to get started or level up. So this book is entirely about podcasting. And so what really was the inspiration behind writing this book?
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, first, just a couple of shout outs. So, huge shout out to Olivia who did the book cover, as well as to Virak who did the photo shoot, and Francesca who did the makeup that day. This picture is like really old, y'all. By the way, it's like pre-pandemic, so a few years have passed. But to get to your question, the inspiration behind writing the book. I've really enjoyed podcasting for a long time. I was first introduced to it through my job, through my current team actually, because when I first learned about it, they were, I was working in a school as a technology teacher, and I went through the Sharing Technology with Educators program back in 2008. I want to say 2007, 2008, and one of the things that we learned about was podcasting. So did that with my students, really loved it. A few years later, then when EduMatch kind of got up and running, then folks were like, "Well, why don't you make an EduMatch podcast?" And I was just like, "Cool." So that's how we got the Tweet and Talk podcast, and then from there, I've used it in several different ways. Like for example, for my students when I was teaching a master's class, I did like a weekly podcast for them, and in addition, on my district team, we do a podcast. So podcasting is really cool. I love it. I love it as a consumer of podcasts. I listen to them all the time, like no matter what I'm doing. If I'm like at the gym doing dishes, doing bottles, then I am listening to podcasts in my ear. So it's a great way to share your voice. And I just wanted to share what I knew, and hopefully it might help somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. And I, well, I didn't realize that you had done so many podcasts as well, but do you listen to your podcast on times 10 or something? Because
Yeah.
you are like, you'll be like, I'm listening to this podcast, I'm listening to this podcast, and it'll be a 20-minute podcast, and you posted it like 5 minutes later. And I'm like, I like to do
Yes.
this.
Yeah, 3 times speed. Like, it's a skill. You got to just keep practicing and you can keep going faster and faster. But now 3 times speed, and that's the way to go.
That's hilarious. That's awesome. Um, So, let's see. So you kind of covered this a little bit, but why was writing your guide to podcasting important to you? Like, what was it that just really, I know that you did a lot of it and you think it's a great way to get information out to audience, but as far as like needing a guide, like why was that important to you?
Yeah. So I started off with a course on podcasting a few years ago. And that's available through our Thinkific website. Um, and as I was doing that, then I just was thinking, okay, well, this is cool, but a lot of people, sometimes they don't necessarily like to go through the course model, but they still want the same information. So what's another way to repurpose the information? And I was just like, duh, books. EduMatch does books. So,
We do
and
that.
yes, we do. and and I've been wanting to do like a series of books for a really long time. I have like the Sarahdateechur's Guide to dot dot dot, and I've started on a few of these books. But the podcasting one, since I already had the transcript, I was just like, let me just, go ahead and take that transcript and bookify it. And now we have tools that make that super easy to do. There's lots of AI tools that are out there that can, help you take your spoken style and make it more written, things of that nature. So it took about maybe 3 days, I would say, for to put the book together. And after that, then, thanks to Mandy and the other focus group members, then I was able to get a little bit more polish on it. And so now it's ready. So really, just the short answer to your question, because I went on and on and on. The short answer is I just wanted to get the info out in a different format.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Um, and then, so one of the things that I think is really interesting about the guide to podcasting is that, like, it is written for like it's written with educators in mind, right? But the audience is really anybody could use this, don't you think? Do you want to talk a
Yeah.
little bit about the audience?
Yeah, totally. So it is written, in the title it says for educators, but there's a lot of general information in there that really anybody who's interested can use it. I would say anybody who really wants to use podcasting in order to grow their community. The original title was Podcasting with Your PLN. That is the course title in Thinkific, and it's based off of that. So there's a lot in there about meeting the needs of your audience and meeting the interests of your audience and crowdsourcing and things of that nature. So like it says in the subtitle, it's for anyone who wants to get started or level up. So there's a few different ideas in there. Some of the more advanced things are like repurposing your content and things of that nature. So there's a little something for everybody in there. You might be muted, friend.
Why do I keep muting myself? Like I'm trying not to be loud and then I don't know. Anyway, I love that part of it. So that was one thing that you have taught me just over the course of working with you, and then I had noticed it in the book, was that how often we can take content that we've done in like video form or something and repurpose it as a podcast. And I had never ever thought about doing that until we were doing it with the EduMatch Tweet and Talks.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
And and so it's a really interesting concept. Like you have to be intentional about that. You have to say things in in your video or whatever it is that doesn't is like if we're doing this and I say look at this and then you put that
Right.
in a podcast, it doesn't make any sense. But so you have to be intentional about it, but you absolutely can very easily use that that as a podcast. So I love that. Just because everybody's busy and everybody's trying to find ways to get content out. It's hard when you've got stuff to do, and so yeah, I think that that's great.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, friend. So what other resources do you suggest for readers, and where can they find you?
Yeah, so there are so many great resources out there on podcasts, podcasting, I should say. There are also some great educational podcasts and other podcasts that are out there as well. One of my go-to resources is hashtag podcast edu on the socials, and a lot of times people will post their episodes. I post what I'm listening to that, and you can find a lot of really great educational podcasts. In terms of other resources, like for creating, as in the book, I say anchor.fm. That's like my absolute favorite tool. I've gone through many of them, but I really, really love Anchor, and I'm not getting any kind of kickback to say that. So that's
Not
just
yet.
right, not yet. Yeah, but I think they changed the name to Spotify for podcasters or something like that recently. So that's a really great tool. In terms of finding me, you can find me on all the socials with the handle Sarahdateechur. You can go to sarahdateechur.com if you want my blog, sarahjanethomas.com for my website. And of course, the EduMatch website, edumatch.org, which was expertly crafted by Mandy Freilich. So huge shout out on that as well.
All right, awesome. And also don't forget, with the extra resources, you can go over and purchase the podcasting
Yes.
course as well. So can you talk a little bit about how somebody might find that?
Yeah, totally. So if you go to edumesh.thinkific.com, then you'll find community podcasting with your PLN. But here's the secret: if you buy the book, then there's a code in there to get 50% off. So I would suggest doing that, and you can have both for a discount. But if you just want just the course or just the book, then that's fine as well. Yeah, so definitely check that out. And and there's a community there as well. So you can share your takeaways as you are creating, and we can all support one another.
Absolutely. And if you missed that, you can also find that link on our website at www.edumatch.com. Sarah, thank you so much for being here. I'm so, it makes my day when I get to see your face. And I'm so honored to be able to do your launch. And for the rest of our community, thank you so much for joining us. And just so you know, you can get a discount on bulk orders of the podcasting book if you just contact Dr. Sarah Thomas at EduMatch Books at edumatchers.org. You can get a discount on just 10 books. So that's not even very many. And that qualifies for our bulk discount. So again, you can message her at edumatchbooks at edumatchers.org. You can also find this book, as well as all of the rest of our other books, on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and www.edumatchpublishing.com. So again, thank you so much, Sarah, for being here, and congratulations on your launch.
Mandy. Appreciate you. Thank you. I really, really appreciate you, and I appreciate everyone tuning in as well.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye, everyone.